On the line, I got my buddy Mike Barrett as he talks to us about 10 minutes till 8 o'clock every Wednesday. Good day, Mike.
Good day, sir. How are you?
Oh, I am doing fantabulous. You know, for me, social isolation has just been my life. I mean, I talk to myself in a small room, have been doing it for 30 years, and then I go home and fall asleep and then do it again the next day.
Right.
But
so what's changed for you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I wear a mask inside the building by myself just in case I want to talk to myself. I go, hey, back up 6 feet, bro. So as far as social distancing, masks, and all that, the sneeze guards you got going on at Barrett Insurance, you back open the doors and things have been getting back to where people feel more comfortable coming in and talking to you?
Yeah, we have a mixed bag. We have people who are very comfortable coming in. And of course, we do encourage strongly that they wear masks. But if they are not comfortable wearing a mask or don't have a mask, that's fine. We're wearing masks when people come in. Now, we're not wearing masks the entire time. There's no need to in our office.
Well, no, you should wear a mask all the time because you are fugly.
Well, you know, I do have a face for radio, as they used to say, right? So, but you know, we put the masks on when people come in, but otherwise we're able to easily adhere to the 6-foot rule as an office staff. So we are completely fine in that regard, but we are doing all the appropriate steps and keeping things when people do come in. We are cleaning up when they leave. Not that we want to offend anybody. It's just the new way of the world.
Now, I have a question for you. Discounts that have been going out during these times, do you know definitively with some of the companies that you represent that that's going to end soon?
Oh, yeah. That was never going to be a long-term thing.
No, I know that, but I mean, do you know, like, July, August, now?
Yeah, with most companies, July is the last month. Some companies, June is the last month because a lot of companies were doing it with April, May, or April, May, and June. There may be a handful of companies that extended it out to July, but not many. Now, again, what prompted that is that there was less people driving through this whole process of having to kind of shelter or stay home, stay safe. And when there's less driving, there's less claims.
Yes.
So companies were realizing that, so that's why the whole deal came to be. So who knows? That could be revisited again if a surge comes.
If the economy
if
the economy does come back to some, being semi okay, we know that the ripple effects for this will be, for a very long time. Will insurance agencies have to tack on little things here and there to kind of make up for that because they've lost a lot of money through the last couple of quarters because of this situation?
Yeah, we're lucky in the regard that we're not an overly volatile business. You think of the restaurants and the retail shops and having any kind of a closure or reduction in force or reduction in hours can really be a detriment to them. For us, we were able to run, even if remotely, we're able to continue our operations. So while absolutely yes, because we insure those businesses that are impacted. So we're seeing a reduction in premiums, which, of course, is a reduction in our earnings. But we've been very fortunate in the regard that in the grand scheme of things, the impact should not, for an agency of our size, should not be all that impactful. We should be able to make our way through. Now, if we were a huge organization, I can't kind of predict how that may handle it. But for an agency that's a kind of a small mom-and-pop size like us, we've been able to weather the storm fairly well.
Now, as far as we get into people being able to come back down to Barrett Insurance Agency, people feeling as if they are now looking at, they had time to little spring cleaning. Hey, let's look at our finances. Oh, this is our coverage. Compared to, say, my neighbor, him and I, depending on our history, is really the only divide when it comes to certain insurance things being the same versus them being terribly askew. Like if we both have Toyotas and they're both kind of the same year and we're both kind of the same age, is it because cars are, if your car is better than my car, then of course insurance is more expensive. If you're older or younger than I am, then your insurance is going to be different. How is that comparison?
It's really, it's interesting. There was a time, I believe, before all these different algorithms came into place where You talk to your buddy, or my insurance, and what are you paying? And oh my gosh, I can't believe you're paying that much more. You should call my guy, and they could probably have a fairly similar price. There's too many factors at play now, and auto is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a million and one for home as well. But really gone are the days where you can ask your friends and family or have a conversation with them. And I know it doesn't come up often, but we hear a lot like, hey, well, my neighbor tells me this is what they're paying. Why am I paying this much more? Well, your neighbor doesn't have 25 cows. Your neighbor doesn't have $150,000 worth of farm equipment.
And the deductible may be different.
Totally. There's a million and one things that are variables that, again, one of the guiltiest things that the insurance industry has done to itself, and this is through all the commercials that you're seeing and hearing, is they've put it all on price. It's all on price. Price is certainly huge because you don't want to be insurance poor. You want to pay for the appropriate coverage, but when your complete and utter focus is on the cost of your insurance, gone is the ability to see what you have for coverage and what you, more importantly, may not have for coverage should a loss occur. So, it's important to kind of keep that in mind. Your friend may have a seasonal home. You have a primary residence. That's why you're paying less. You may have a home that's built in 2004. They may have a home that's got deferred maintenance that was built in 1901. Again, those are going to be major, impactful things. They're going to really dictate the cost and coverage available to them. So try not to put a lot of weight. Kind of keep it, with a grain of salt when you're comparing prices. Because your friend may have a 2020 Subaru and you have a 2013 Ford. There's a million and one things that are going to really change it up, especially credit. Don't forget, insurance companies all use insurance scoring, which is related to your credit. That is going to be something that's very impactful and can really adversely affect you with some companies. So keep that in mind.
I have a 76 Gremlin. My insurance is so cheap. Barrett Insurance Agency in St. Johnsbury.
Don't put it in the microwave.
It actually has one of those Twizzler, things like in Wayne's World in the roof inside the vehicle.
I love those cars.
Goodness. So if you'd like to talk to Mike about price comparison, the prices of what is comparable, Vermont is fairly inexpensive compared to other states, isn't it?
It really is. If you're moving here from out of state, such as Massachusetts, New York, especially in the cities, New Jersey, Connecticut, Michigan in some cases, Texas. I mean, a lot of these states have different rules and regulations, and don't forget, they're more populated. And as it's more populated, that becomes geographical is part of a factor of the rating.
Right.
So a lot of people, when they move here from those states, are pleasantly surprised with the cost of insurance. Now, interestingly enough, and I'll throw this at you real quick, I years ago lived down in the White River Junction area, and believe it or not, for me, it was cheaper to insure my vehicle in that area at that time, and we're talking, 15 years ago, than it was to be back up here with the same vehicle. So there is, even in Vermont, even in our state, there are different geographic locations that can impact the rating of your auto insurance.
If you would like to talk to Mike, give him a call at Barrett Insurance Agency by buzzing him up at
748-5224. Visit us on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury. Also online at barrettagency.com, where you can get a free online home or auto quote. Google, Facebook, and YouTube is all Barrett Insurance Agency.
Talk to you next week, Mike.
See you, sir.
Bye.